Hello, I'm Tap G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And welcome to What's the Attraction?
Where our work is your vacation. Well, folks, it's once again time for Tap G and I to respectfully agree to disagree. We're pitting two similar attractions against one another and deciding a personal winner between us. It's time for Versus.
In this corner, a long-established nighttime show that's been wowing guests since 1998, direct from Disney's Hollywood studios, it's Fantasmic! And in this corner, the opposite corner, the corner that's completely diagonal from the other one, we have a newcomer to nighttime as part of Universal Orlando's Year to Be Here in 2012. It is Universal's cinematic, spectacular 100 Years of Movie Memories! Time to pick our sides, Surfer Clock.
Well, I've always been a fan of a good underdog story, and even with Universal becoming a strong competitor, their nighttime show has yet to draw Fantasmic-esque crowds. I'll be siding with Uni's show, hereafter referred to as Fantasmic.
And that leaves me to defend Fantasmic. Today's battle is a best-of-5 showdown. We will each present a case, and a winner will be decided. Each showdown is worth a point, and a personal winner will be crowned. Ready, Surfer Clock?
Ready, Tap G?
It's Versus time!
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, let's hop straight into round one. Each of these shows tells a story to keep the audience engaged. Whose story is better?
Cinespec actually tells it's not really a story so much as it is a tribute to 100 years of entertainment. And while it does provide enough for you to follow, sadly it's not really a story. How about Fantasmic?
Yeah, you're the big story guy among the two of us, aren't you? A good attraction has to tell a good story, right?
Fair enough.
Whereas Fantasmic, on the other hand, we're going inside the mind of our hero, Mickey Mouse, as he dreams of stories of greatness, romance, heroism, adventure, fantasy, and then the dark forces invade Mickey's dreams and start to turn his dreams into a nightmare. So Mickey must valiantly fend them off and claim true greatness and heroism once more. That sounds like a good story, doesn't it?
It really does. Cinespec has all this, but it's really disjointed and not told as a story. There is a narration, but it's, again...
by Morgan Freeman.
Yes, but it is disjointed, and as I said, not really a story. Point goes to Fantasmic. Round 2. Each show has an array of amazing, but similar, special effects. Whose effects provide more wow? How about Fantasmic?
Well, let's see. I've never really been a quantity over quality guy, but, see, how do I put this without sounding smug? We got a Pocahontas stage play, we got lasers, we got fireworks, we got water fans with animation on them, we got a steamboat with Steamboat Willie and a bunch of characters on it, and oh, did I mention we have a dragon?
A dragon?
A dragon. Maleficent the Dragon comes out.
Alright, so Cinespec has a water screen, which is really cool. It has waving fountains that are colorful.
Dragon.
It has fireworks and
Dragon.
on-building projection, which
Dragon.
I think is pretty neat. Hey, we got Draco the Dragon from Dragonheart.
We have a dragon.
That's actually real. Draco appears on screen for maybe a fraction of a second.
How about that?
I think the dragon in Fantasmic actually is there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, Maleficent's there on stage and Mickey Mouse stands up to her.
Point goes to Fantasmic.
Oh yeah. Round 3. Each of these nighttime shows tugs at the viewer's heartstrings. Whose emotional impact is greatest?
Cinespec does draw from a long legacy of films, and these are films that you may not necessarily realize have been done by Universal. So the appearance of each film on the screen, depending on your level of film buffness, you may be surprised to learn which films come from the Universal canon. And the appearance of these films we all know and love, things like Blues Brothers, Back to the Future, Forrest Gump,
Frankenstein, King Kong, Battleship, the Lorax.
Oh, come on now. And it's funny, Battleship actually was not released before. It was actually still yet to come to theaters when the show went into production. So seeing some of the images from Battleship was pretty surprising to me. But yeah, there's great music, there's a lot of and it's paired with these fantastic moments from these films, and it gets me emotional every single time I watch it.
Here's the thing when it comes to Fantasmic. Disney knows the power of its own nostalgia. They know that everyone loves their movies, no matter who they are. We all love Lady and the Tramp, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Dalmatians, Mulan, Hercules. We love those movies. So as soon as we see those images, it stirs an emotional feeling inside us. However, Disney does one of two things. Number one, they overplay that card a lot. I love seeing those clips as much as the next guy, but we see it a lot, even if you're not a fan of Disney.
How about on the beginning of every DVD?
Exactly, that's exactly my point. The other thing, too, is that everyone knows most of the Disney animated features, even if they can't think of titles right off the top of their head.
Sure.
So what ends up happening is that when you're watching a show and you know it's going to be about Disney animated features, you go, "Yep, that's Lady and the Tramp. I remember that. Oh, yep, there's Lion King. Oh, there's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Oh, there's Sleeping Beauty." So you start to remember those, but you see it coming.
Yeah.
Not to mention the show of good versus evil. While a really good show, you know what's coming. You know Mickey is going to win. I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, even those like you who hate spoilers, you know how it's going to end.
Well, sure, it's a Disney thing.
For Cinespec, however, because you don't know what's coming, I mean, when I first saw it and saw all those clips, I'm like, that movie. That kept surprising me, and that actually pulled more heartstrings. I love Disney. I really do. But the surprise of all those great movies that I didn't see coming actually held more of an emotional response for me. So, I regret to say I have to concede point to Cinespec because surprise in the canon amounts to greater emotional moments.
Round 4. Interestingly enough, each of these shows has a VIP dining option which provides a meal and special viewing of the show. Whose VIP treatment provides a better value?
Well, let's start with the strong points for Fantasmic. You could get either lunch or dinner at one of 3 restaurants at Disney's Hollywood Studios. It could be Mama Melrose's, the Hollywood and Vine, or the Hollywood Brown Derby. So that you get 3 choices for lunch and or dinner, which can range anywhere from $29 to $58 per adult, depending on what time of the year you go. For kids, it could either be $13 to $19. Again, that's a seasonal price. Well, what is it over at Cinespec?
Cinespec, they only have a dinner option. It's at one restaurant, Lombard Seafood Grill. There is quite a varied menu. You get an appetizer and an entree. Adults only have to pay $45 per person, no matter what time of the year it is.
Say what?
Yeah, no matter what time of the year it is, it's $45 per person. And for kids, it's $13 per child, and that's not seasonally dependent. It's like that all the time.
One set price, really?
Yeah. Huh. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, I also mentioned viewing area. Where do you get to sit for Fantasmic?
Well, you get to sit in the VIP section.
Which is where?
The back row of the amphitheater.
Provides good view, yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, it has a good view, and yeah, you don't get wet when the show starts splashing, but yeah, you stay dry.
That's great. Yep, for Cinespec, you get front row seating.
So what?
You get sit right in front of one of the water screens, so you have a fantastic view of the show. And did I mention the dessert buffet that comes with it?
Oh, say who to what now?
Yes, there's a dessert buffet. It gets served during the show, and, I think a little bit before and during the show, and you get a great view of the show.
Well, you can get, like, a dipped strawberries and other goodies at Fantasmic, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah, your dessert buffet comes with that $45 price.
Cinespec. Finally, round 5. It all comes down to this. Each show draws upon a long legacy from their respective studios. Whose use of the legacy is the most powerful?
Well, they don't call Cinespec 100 Years of Movie Memories for nothing. The show was created to celebrate the fact that the studio did turn 100 years old in 2012. Now, you see clips from all kinds of different films. In fact, I believe there's at least 75 different films represented in the show. Now, while most of these are very quick clips from these films...
Battleship, Lorax!
Oh, come on now. Whatever the case, it draws not only from the storied past and some of the present. There are films like Hop and Despicable Me.
Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky.
King Kong. They've got Frankenstein, Dracula.
The Swamp Thing. Yeah, I think each of the Universal monsters actually got a little bit of representation.
From that horror section, right?
Yep. But the point is that there's so much there, and it's pulling from all that legacy.
From how many genres, though? I mean, just the live action and the horror genre?
Nope. You get animation, comedy, drama, historical fiction, I believe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's from all genres, all across the board.
Really?
Well, anything that Universal has made.
I see.
It's but yeah, it's legacy.
Fantasmic. Well, like I said before, Disney has had this amazing history of Disney animated films that everyone knows and everyone loves. So Disney draws upon that legacy to create the show. Except there's one minor issue.
What's that?
Just the animated features. There's no reference to the television shows. There's no reference to the live-action movies. No reference to even any of the Pixar movies.
Well, even Cinespecs is nothing but movies, though.
Right. However, you can draw upon, everything from the good movies, the bad movies, the comedies, the horrors, and the live-action and the animated. If Fantasmic could include, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Love Bug, or Toy Story, the show could actually be just so much more powerful. In fact, I'll even tell you another major downside. When the Fantasmic originally premiered in Disneyland, they had their stage play was the ship going by, and they had a battle between Peter Pan and Captain Hook. Well, Eisner wanted something more updated, so they chose Pocahontas, which I guess had just been released at the time when they were developing this.
Fair enough.
And today, Pocahontas is that one largely forgotten, if somewhat maligned, Disney movie. So it kind of comes off as a somewhat poor choice for a stage play, even if it is a very riveting moment in the show. But ultimately, the only live-action characters in this entire thing are Mary Poppins and Bert, who are on the steamboat with Mickey Mouse and all the other Disney characters. But if they could pull together more characters from Pixar and the live-action canon, this show could be a lot richer and a lot more powerful. So, unfortunately, with Universal's more diverse legacy, I yet again have to concede to Cinespec.
That's the end of the match, folks. And with 3 points to 2, Universal Cinematic Spectacular 100 Years of Movie Memories barely edges out Fantasmic for WTA's Critics' Choice. Now, we may have selected our winner, but the battle is going to continue here on YouTube as well as Facebook.
Shortly after this episode is posted, we'll be posting a poll on What's the Attraction's Facebook page to gauge viewer opinion on this. If you haven't liked our page yet, now's the time. However, if you'd rather voice your opinion elsewhere, feel free to leave a comment on YouTube or even the blog linked below.
We look forward to seeing what you folks have to say. Congratulations to Cinespec for winning WTA's Critics' Choice.
Until next time, I'm Tab G.
And I'm Surfer Clock.
And thanks for listening to What's the Attraction?
Well, our work is your vacation. Oh, come on, guys. You're done already?